The season for the Arizona Cardinals has been over, but we are still hearing the fan base split down the middle. Multiple different people coming out talking ill about Kyler Murray, talking about firing Cliff Kingsbury, talking about Steve Keim should have been gone years ago. But in this video here, I want to go ahead and talk about Kyler Murray specifically and all the hate that he's getting recently. Does he deserve it? Is it warranted? That's what we're going to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Roll that intro. What's going on, Arizona sports fan family? Just a quick update here. I recorded the video yesterday for Kyler Murray, and then of course later on during the day there was news that kind of came out, and the biggest thing that happened is that Kyler Murray ended up not following the Arizona Cardinals on his Instagram and scrubbed a lot of the stuff on Instagram here. Now, is that something, that we have to panic about? Obviously the off season's starting, and here we go, let the drama begin, and it might be a negotiation tactic to get an extension, kind of like Chandler Jones tried to do, but we also saw the other side of the coin with Butler. I don't know, guys. Let's go ahead and stay tuned. This offseason is going to be nuts. All right, guys, welcome back in. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, today what I want to talk about was the heavy criticism that Kyler Murray is getting all across social media, all across everywhere that I'm actually seeing currently right now. But before we get started, definitely do me one huge favor. Definitely consider subscribing to the AZ Sports Fan here for all things Arizona content. We're going to be talking about the offseason, acquisitions, draft, all that different stuff. And make sure you put your post notification bell on as well, just so you're aware of when we go live or when we drop the next video. All right, without having to waste any more time here, let's jump into the topic here, and it's going to be a big one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about our quarterback, Kyler Murray, which he's going to be going into his fourth year, and a lot of people are already talking about, will they re-sign him? Will they give him that long-term extension? And some people are actually saying, give up on the Kyler Murray experiment. It's absolutely a wash. We don't want it. Trade for this person, trade for that person. It is absolutely pandemonium here for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, before we go ahead and start with the comments, before we go ahead and start with saying, Kyler Murray has, made it to the Pro Bowl multiple times, Kyler Murray was Rookie of the Year, all that different stuff, let's go ahead and try to understand the other point of view. The people that are absolutely frustrated, that are long-term Arizona Cardinal fans that have been here since '88, if not longer, since St. Louis, when they were, the St. Louis Cardinals. Keep that in mind when we are trying to hear these people's concerns. Now, a lot of people are coming out here, and that's their initial reaction to kind of lash out. And I definitely understand it here. In terms of me being a fan, I can definitely relate to what they're talking about. I feel the exact same way with Cliff Kingsbury. 3 years for me is absolutely enough to say we saw what he could do, and we also see what he could do towards the end of the season. And it's kind of the same thing that happens over and over again. And I do think that there's some people that feel the same way about Kyler Murray. I'm not here to try to change your opinion or anything like that. It is written in the books already. The Arizona Cardinals started off 7-0, went to 10-2, and we just crumbled. Same thing happened over, in the 2020 season. Same thing again, late season collapse. And also the 2019 season when he started. Now, granted, we only had 5.5 wins in that year, but a lot of people are also now questioning Kyler Murray. Is he able to stay healthy throughout the entirety of a 17-game season? Now, as of right now, I think it's crazy to say release Kyler Murray, trade Kyler Murray. That's not going to happen. Now, what it seems like what the Arizona Cardinals are going to do is we might be sticking it out with Cliff Kingsbury. Now, am I happy about this decision? I'm not. I'm really not. But am I going to accept it? I think there's really no option for me but to accept it. I'm a diehard Arizona Cardinal fan. Whether Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury, Steve Keim, any of those people are here, I'm still going to be rocking my Arizona Cardinal, gear, because that is who I am. Now, let's continue to talk about Kyler Murray here. Now, everybody has been talking about Kyler Murray. A lot of the footballs that he's throwing keep getting batted down at the line. A lot of people like to make fun of his stature because, hey, He's 5'10", and realistically, he probably can't see, past the line. And the ball's getting batted down. That happens with a lot of quarterbacks, not just Kyler Murray. Now, whether you blame Kyler Murray for this collapse, Cliff Kingsbury for the collapse, the injuries, or all in a sum, that's exactly what happened here. This team was built out for free agents to come here, veteran free agents. We seem to be trying to build out a superstar team, but for people that were already either past their prime or they were just over the prime limit, and this was the result here. This Arizona Cardinal team did not have any depth. They did not have leadership. They did not have accountability in that locker room to really come out and put their arm over their shoulder and say, hey, it's okay. I think the moment that things ended up going sour for the Arizona Cardinals was the loss against the Green Bay Packers. Now, we had an opportunity to win that game if AJ Green turned around, but it didn't unfold that way at all. Now, Kyler Murray, his stats for, the last 7 games, including the Green Bay Packers game, doesn't look very good at all in terms of touchdowns to interceptions. I think in the last 7 games for Kyler Murray, he had 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Now, that does not look good at all. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about throwing touchdowns. You could have a rushing touchdown here and there, but I'm talking about specifically throwing touchdowns. With those type of stats, you're not going to win very many games. Now, going back to who do you blame for the late season collapse? A lot of people are saying Kyler Murray. A lot of people are saying Cliff Kingsbury. A lot of people are saying Steve Keim because he's not giving the depth to the coaching staff in order for us to, go over, these injuries that we happen to have. Another thing that a lot of people like to talk about is Kyler Murray's leadership. The fact that he seems to maybe sulk a lot in the on the bench, doesn't really kind of go up to his players a lot. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we don't really see 100% of what Kyler Murray is doing on the bench or on the sidelines. He could very well be doing that stuff that we want him to be doing, and the moment that the camera pans over to him, we are seeing things that kind of confirm that a lot of people are thinking. The leadership skills aren't there. The maturity isn't there. We also got to keep in mind that he is a young player as well. He is progressing in the NFL. And we just kind of have to wait for us to see. Now, this 4th year for Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray is really going to tell a lot for this whole, experiment and what's exactly going to happen. We're either going to exceed and make it back into the playoffs and get a chance at the Lombardi, or we're going to fall flat on our face. And that's really the only 2 big scenarios that I see ended up happening here. I can see an average season happening again with maybe, winning, 8 to 9 games, or I could see us excel and have a very good season. But it's all kind of in our heads. It's still fresh. Even if we start 7-0, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. What matters is how you finish the rest of the season. We've all seen that happen already. The San Francisco 49ers started off terribly in the beginning of the season, and they finally got into a groove and started winning games. And they got a lot further than the Arizona Cardinals did. Kudos to the San Francisco 49ers that definitely seem to be hitting a stride with Deebo Samuels and whatever they're doing over there. But the bottom line here is, can Kyler Murray lead us to greatness? Can Kyler Murray lead us to consistency? I still have faith in Kyler Murray. What I would love to do here, and if I was Michael Bidwell, I would love to see him with another coach that has more experience in the NFL. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, why don't we just give Cliff Kingsbury an offensive coordinator? Mike, what are you doing? He's won 11 games. Guys, we tried this already. We've tried the opportunity for Cliff Kingsbury to give him an offensive coordinator, and he said no. He absolutely said no. He was brought here to call the plays, and that's exactly what he wants to do. Now, we're here in this situation right now. What is the 4th year going to look like? My guess is as good as your guys's. Now, if you guys don't know this already, we are playing the AFC West, and that's going to be Kansas City, the Broncos, the Chiefs, and Justin Herbert with the Chargers. And we're also playing our NFC West as well. 2 games each, which is not going to be an easy task. how is the Arizona Cardinals going to go ahead and proceed? We knew what this offense looks like without DeAndre Hopkins. I've been saying this for a couple years, and I was called crazy because I wanted to get a wide receiver in the draft after we ended up getting DeAndre Hopkins. And now people are seeing what Christian Kirk and Andy Isabella and who Hakeem Butler is. Nobody knows who he is anymore. Keyshawn Johnson is gone. Now we're in that moment where the light bulb came on. The whole situation of, man, maybe we should have gotten a premier wide receiver when we had the 8th overall pick. Now, we're in the situation right now, ladies and gentlemen. We got to go ahead and wait for the offseason. How is this Arizona Cardinal team going to come up? Best thing I can say here is that offensive line needs to get fixed. We need to get some weapons for Kyler Murray and hope everything comes right here. But do I have faith in Kyler Murray? Yes, I absolutely do. Can he win us a Super Bowl? As of right now, I'm in that situation where I need to see it happen before I can go ahead and jump to that conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. But tell me how you guys are feeling about Kyler Murray, and do you feel like all the hate is warranted on our quarterback here? Put everything in the comments below. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm out.